a service of CNC Worldwide.
The Daily is a service of CNC News and Jib Jab Greetings. I'm Bud Lowell, and your full AccuWeather forecast is right across the top of every CNC local news page. Law enforcement is launching a statewide Stop DWI effort this St. Patrick's Day weekend. New York State Police, the Monroe County Sheriff's Road Patrol, and local law enforcement will be cracking down to reduce the number of alcohol-related injuries and deaths. Monroe County Executive Maggie Brooks says Stop DWI has significantly cut the number of fatal drunk driving crashes and is an important part of keeping the highways safe. St. Patrick's Day is historically a dangerous period for impaired driving. Along with Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, and Halloween, it's one of the special enforcement periods for police and the Stop DWI Foundation. The 24-year-old Greece woman accused of purchasing firearms for gunman William Spangler has been indicted on a federal weapons charge. Dawn Nguyen was indicted by a federal grand jury in Rochester with knowingly making a false statement in connection with the purchase of firearms, with illegally selling them to a convicted felon, and for purchasing guns while in possession of marijuana. Spangler used the rifle and shotgun that Nguyen bought for him to ambush the 4 West Webster firefighters on Christmas Eve. The attack killed Michael Ciparini and Tomasz Kashovka. 2 other firefighters were injured and they're recovering. After nearly 24 hours, the standoff in the village of Herkimer ended Thursday with an exchange of gunfire and a dead suspect. What officials and people in the villages of Mohawk and Herkimer want, but can't get, are answers. An explanation of why 64-year-old Kurt Myers went on a shooting rampage that killed 4 people and seriously wounded 2 others this week. State Police Superintendent Joseph D'Amico said state police and FBI tactical teams entered the first floor of the abandoned building in Herkimer yesterday morning and ended the standoff. Myers hid himself in an abandoned bar the day before after exchanging gunfire with police. Myers fired through a door at the officers, killing an FBI dog. Police returned fire and killed the gunman. No officers were injured. Superintendent D'Amico says police just don't know why Myers went to a barber shop and a quick oil change shop and opened fire with a shotgun. He called the attacks unprovoked and random. D'Amico also said Myers was apparently a loner who had contact only with his relatives, but they have no explanation. And one of the men wounded in the attacks told investigators the gunman simply asked if the barber remembered him and then started shooting. According to the Buffalo News, a Chautauqua County man is apparently the first to be arrested under the NY Safe gun control law. He is charged with selling one of the newly banned military-style automatic rifles to an undercover state police investigator. Benjamin Wassel of Silver Creek is actually accused of violating the law twice. The 32-year-old was arrested Thursday by state police and arraigned in Hanover Town Court. He allegedly sold 2 rifles and ammunition to the investigator at a bowling alley. If convicted, he is looking at up to 7 years in prison. State Attorney General Eric Schneiderman's office says Wassel allegedly sold an AR-15 rifle to the officer 9 days after NY Safe was approved. That sale would have been illegal even before NY Safe because the AR-15 has multiple military-style features. Since the tougher law was approved, all military-style features, including pistol grips, telescoping stocks, and bayonet mounts, are banned in New York. The second sale was made in February. This one involved an Armalite AR-10 rifle, and that can no longer be sold under the tougher NY Safe standard because it has the pistol grip. Wassel, who's an Iraq War veteran, was released on his own recognizance because he has no prior record. And New York Attorney General Schneiderman says his office has reached agreement with 23 gun show operators across the state on standards to ensure background checks are being conducted on people who buy firearms at the gun shows. That includes those coming up in Rochester, Western New York, and the Finger Lakes. More than 50 shows are currently scheduled statewide this year. The model gun show procedures developed by the Attorney General's office require all guns brought into a show by private sellers to be tagged, and the operator will be able to show later what guns were sold and show that each buyer went through the proper instant background check. Those records will be kept for 10 years. Schneiderman says this is the first time law enforcement has worked together with gun show operators to block illegal gun sales. The new rules will be posted at all future shows, and operators will be required to use reasonable means to prevent gun sales in the parking lot. Victor resident Ryan Whidden faces a preliminary hearing next week in Victor Town Court after that 12-hour standoff with police Monday. He made a brief appearance in court Thursday and was sent back to jail on $250,000 bail. The 31-year-old Ontario County man is charged with criminal possession of a weapon for having a handgun without a permit. He may also face additional charges after that standoff on Ketchum Street in Victor. Whidden is accused of shooting up cars in his driveway, then holding up in his house until police fired tear gas in on Monday night. Nobody was injured. In Canandaigua, police are investigating the death of a person found in a burning vehicle at the Woodlawn Cemetery. Police say the call was originally for a car fire at the cemetery on North Pearl Street, but firefighters discovered human remains in the vehicle after putting out the fire. Chief John Welch says the body has been brought to the Monroe County Medical Examiner's office for tests. State police are working with his department on the cause of the fire. All that's certain right now is that there was a body inside the vehicle. To the left of the player window are links to these and other stories. At the bottom of the page, links you can use to post news to us, and we encourage you to send news and videos. So the next news is as it happens. Updates are when necessary. I'm Bud Lowell, CNC News.